York City leaders and relatives of Eric Garner are outraged tonight after federal prosecutors decide not to indict an NYPD officer in the 2014 death of the Staten Island resident. Nate Rogers attended a rally where Garner's family and several city council members spoke out.
Allison, the DOJ's decision comes just 1 day before statute of limitations is set to expire on certain charges. It's also the 5th year anniversary of Eric Garner's death. Now, more than 5 city council members and nearly 100 other supporters lined the steps of City Hall Tuesday. Joining forces with Eric Garner's family, supporters pledged to continue their fight for justice.
My son's death is not going in vain. We're going to fight this to the last straw. If I'm the only one out on the street.
New York DOJ officials say insufficient evidence exists proving beyond reasonable doubt that police officers violated federal criminal civil rights statutes during Garner's arrest. The 42-year-old and father of 6 was arrested July 17, 2014 outside a Staten Island convenience store for allegedly selling loose, untaxed cigarettes. Viral video captured Garner being placed in a chokehold by Officer Daniel Pantaleo. Garner's last words, "I can't breathe," which he uttered 11 times, sparked protests nationwide.
It took 5 years for the Department of Justice to deny justice, when it only took us 5 seconds to see that Eric Garner was choked to death.
In 2014, a Staten Island jury decided not to charge Pantaleo in Garner's death. An internal investigation is still underway where Police Commissioner James O'Neill will decide if Pantaleo should be fired. To date, Pantaleo remains on desk duty.
Mayor de Blasio, do your job. Fire these officers. I'm calling for them to be fired today. You don't have to wait for anything else. You see, the DOJ, they failed us.
In a tweet, Mayor de Blasio said no family should have to wait 5 years for answers they deserve. He also said moving forward, the city won't wait for the federal government to commence its own disciplinary proceedings. Garner's supporters plan to stage another rally Wednesday afternoon at Foley Square. In New York, I'm Nate Rogers for Chasing News.
Thanks, Nate. I want to bring in former Morris County prosecutor and criminal defense attorney and also our A-plus panelist, Bob Bianchi. Welcome, Bob.
Allison.
I understand you also do some civil rights work. So what is your reaction to this?
It wasn't surprising, Allison. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, let me just start off and preface this because people's emotional temperature is understandably very high. That Eric Garner should not have died over selling loose cigarettes. There's no question about that. However, from a legal point of view, 5 attorney generals have reviewed this case, as now 3 U.S. attorneys have. Neither of them are bringing criminal charges because if you were to indict this police officer, he'd be entitled to all the rights a defendant is entitled to. And prosecutors can only move forward if they can prove a case beyond a reasonable doubt to 12 people.
Thanks, Bob. We appreciate your opinion. We'll see you a little bit later in the show.